Hi, my name is Yolande Poirier. I'm from Oracle Technology Network, and I'm here at Devox interviewing Stéphane Epardaud. Bonjour Stéphane.
Bonjour.
Stéphane, tell us what you are doing in the community.
What I'm doing is I work for JBoss Red Hat, and I'm working on the Ceylon project, the new programming language. Responsible mostly for the compiler, the documentation generator, the module repositories, so some of the tools that we have around Ceylon.
Okay, so where is the name come from actually?
The name, it's an island, right? It's an island in the,
yes, off of
somewhere in Sri Lanka, I think.
Yep.
Right? So it's obviously it's a reference to Java, right? Which is also an island that also has coffee in there. And we got the elephant from the island as well, because apparently they have elephants in Ceylon.
Okay, so it's a Java-based language then?
It's a language based on the JVM, so it runs on the JVM and it's fully interoperable with Java. So that's the idea is that, well, it actually we also have a JavaScript compiler now, so you could run it on something that has JavaScript or on the JVM.
Okay. So what is it for? Why?
What it's for is that we're trying to build a language which has a lot of many modern features that first thing to understand is that in the team we really love Java. We think that Java was a great language, is still a great language, and we're trying to build a new version of something that could have been Java, and that is taking on the same recipe that made Java so popular almost 20 years ago, and then build on that and use the same philosophy and then add some modern features that we thought about recently, or that became popular in alternative languages in the last 10 years.
Okay, so give us an example.
For instance, we're trying to build a stronger, more modern and more powerful type system. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, we have things that we can do with the type system in Ceylon that we couldn't do in Java, because it's more expressive. Mm-hmm. And also, we're trying to fix some of the things that Java couldn't fix because of backwards compatibility, such as reification of the generics. That has always been one of the criticism about the generics when they did it in Java 1.5. So we're trying to, see what is great about Java. We're building upon that because we all love Java, and then we're trying to see what are the small things that we don't like in Java, and we're trying to make it better. Okay.
So it's really for Java developers in a sense. I mean, that would be
the. It's definitely meant primarily at Java developers or maybe C# developers, because the languages are a bit similar.
Okay, and how is it integrated with other languages, or other platform?
So integration, it's fully interoperable with Java. So using Java modules in the sense of Maven modules now, but when Java 8 will be out, the Coin modules, mm-hmm. We will support that. We support using Maven modules at the moment. So that's easy. Now, as for interoperability with JavaScript, for the JavaScript backend, this is something we haven't really figured out yet. So we're still working on how we can do this, and it's actually a lot harder in JavaScript because it's a dynamic language. It's not typed, so it's hard. Ceylon is typed. It's strongly typed like Java, so it's hard to figure out exactly what the proper mapping should be, besides just allowing anything. That's not something we would lack. As far as other languages that also run on the JVM, that's always been a big question, because as far as I know, there's no way to make one non-Java language on the JVM talk to another non-Java language on the JVM. Everyone has his own way of mapping to the bytecode. And for instance, if you have some Groovy code and you want to invoke some Scala codes, or the other way around, then it's not something that's been standardized.
Okay.
So that's a bit harder.
So how far along are you in the development? I mean, is it really like a mature, would you say it's a mature language or?
It's not, no, I wouldn't call it mature yet because we haven't reached version 1.0.
Ah,
so
yeah, okay.
That would be
Sorry.
a bit optimistic and unrealistic as well. No, we're at milestone 2. We have a plan of 5 milestones until we get to version 1. We released the first milestone in December, and the second one the last month. So in March. I think we will probably have the third milestone the next month, and so probably around the end of summer we'll get to version 1, hopefully, if everything goes well. And at that point, yes, it will definitely be usable. I mean, it's already usable. We have several users that are using it. To be fair, we have more contributors than users at the moment. But we do have a good deal of contributors, though. So that's. I'm not saying we're talking about 1 or 2 persons. But yes, this is not the time now to use it in production systems because that's not the state. But after summer, it should be good to start using it seriously. Yes.
So you have a big community around already?
We have
language?
For the state of the project, I think we have a pretty good community. We have everything is completely open source, so all the code is open source. Every tool, every sub-project, module, everything is open source, and the whole development discussions are open source. So the issues are public. The development mailing list is public. Everything, every discussion, even on the strategy, well, not really the politics, but the goals. This is very much public, so everyone takes part in it. Even the shape of the language, the specification. This is something we're discussing publicly. So you have a lot of people that actually express interest in. They're seeing this language. They're thinking, hey, this is pretty cool. This is something I could use if it were out. So how can I? They're asking the question, how can I contribute? And some of them contribute by saying, this is good, but this thing, I think you should change it because, and this and that. And then we start getting into a discussion, and more often than not, we end up, taking criticism very well, especially if they have good arguments. They're not just saying, this is crap. Saying, this, you could make it better because of this and that. And then we do make the change. So people contribute by making the language better, and other people contribute by saying, oh, you should have a JavaScript compiler. And this was something that was started by the community, and we got a JavaScript compiler now, just based on greedy volunteers that built this. So yeah, we have a pretty good community, I would say. Yeah, I'm pretty glad that we did.
So, and when did you start this project, or when was it started?
I think. Personally, I started working on it the last year in April or May. The minute I actually learned about the project which was led by Gavin King, made a conference in China, and then the slides were made available online. I saw the slides and I looked at it and thought, wow, this is really nice. This is the language that, among all the new language that I could see myself use, if only it existed, if only they had a compiler and everything. And the fact is that 1 year ago we did not have a compiler. So I talked to Gavin and I said, do you have a compiler? No, not yet. I said, can I help? I want a compiler. I want to program in this language. Okay, sure, yeah. And then we started working together, and in a couple of months we had a compiler. So
that's pretty good.
That was it for me, but I think Gavin started working on this at least 2 or 3 years ago, so it was not something that appeared out of thin air. It was, I think he discussed the language because he started with use cases and a specification. Actually, when I joined the project, they did not have a compiler, but they did have a spec. In much the same sense that Java has this book, which is a spec, the Java language specification, I think it's called. and another one on the virtual machine. So he started with the spec, and from that it was pretty nice, because then every new contributor could look at the spec and say, okay, this is what it should do, and then we can implement it, and then we can also talk about the language and see what is wrong, what is right, and then point at it in the spec. So I think he did make the spec evolve and appear with the guys at JBoss, based on a lot of internal discussions, yes, before it was made public, and now it's completely, since more than a year, it's completely open.
Wow, it's pretty impressive. And the future of it? I mean, so the first release is this summer, and then
it's hard to speculate what the future will be, because we need to concentrate on getting things done right now. So right now we're working full steam ahead on getting everything ready for version 1. We have already scheduled some things for version 1.1, because we know we will not be able to make it in version 1, and they're not the most important things that we think we can do pretty good without them even. So we're scheduling some things for later. As for what will happen after, I guess it will depend a lot on the community and what people make of it.
I see.
The more users, then the more cool stuff we'll see appear, and we will definitely ourselves make some things appear, like web frameworks and things like that. But we hope that the community will make a lot of cool things happen with it. Yes.
Excellent. Well, I mean, it seems like a lot of work, and
it is
and
a lot of
that
work,
you are.
But it's very interesting.
Right.
Because we're not just making a language. We're also making, well, obviously all the tools, but we're making a whole ecosystem, like Java did at the time. We're making a new SDK. We're making a module repository. We're making a lot of. It's a whole package. It's not just a language and then you use the SDK from another language. It's really.
I see.
It's meant to be a complete modern start, a new beginning.
Excellent. Well, good luck, and thank you for talking with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.